And happy Monday for another week, the second official Finances and Fun podcast. I'm pumped. I got John Evenson, the one, the only legend of EXP, the expert collaborative face of the team. What else can I prop you up with?
That's pretty good. I mean, if you could just say that every time you introduce me to someone, that would work great.
I can. I'll just be the guy behind you with the trumpet.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 introducing Sir Evenson, the badass. You made the front of a magazine, fitness and real estate.
I did. That was pretty fun. That was a fun shoot.
You're probably the buffest postman that walks the neighborhood.
Someone made a comment the other day at the gym that said, one of the careers that you should not be jacked for should be the post office. It's like, he had this whole list of like people, careers that he was like, you do not need to be jacked for this. And he was like, that takes the top.
That's the one that you're going too above the beyond.
He's like, you got that shirt. It's a little too small for you. I'm like, this is a medium. Intentionally. Yes.
Schmedium.
Intentionally schmediums.
I'm glad that you brought up a shirt because he doesn't know it, but I got you a shirt.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
And Holly, I'm holding back laughter, tears already. Holly has been dying the last 2 months.
You guys have kept this on wraps for 2 months?
Yes.
That's impressive.
But can you imagine?
Oh, no. You have it here.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine looking at this shirt, knowing that you're going to give it to John Evenson, and he's going to wear this at the gym?
Oh, my God. That is a shirt of my face.
Only of your face.
Who even thinks of that?
And you know the original photo doesn't look as creepy as this, but this face at the gym saying, come get your realtor on.
Dude, that is hilarious.
I got that for you.
Thank you. How in the hell did you even think of this? Oh, that's good material. That's like silk.
I know you're going to wear it at the gym.
Does my wife know about this?
No.
Oh, I'm going to put it on right after this and wear it home.
But that's why Holly has been, oh my gosh.
That's so
She has been like, I can't wait to see John walk that. And because it's nude. You're going to look naked with your face looking at other people at the gym. It's perfect.
That's unbelible.
And I just can't wait to see it.
It's going to be good.
You brought up a shirt, so I wanted to surprise you with the surprise.
That's quite the surprise. I was not expecting that.
It's not pink. Usually, if you don't know John,
I got a feeling this is going to get some attention. Though.
We can put like pink letters on it.
Look at this thing, dude.
If you don't know John, his famous, actually, like, this is genius marketing. Like, genius marketing as a whole. People are like, oh, well, I don't want to do that because someone might judge me. Okay, John, tell the world why they need more pink shirts.
Honestly, any type of attention is good attention, right? Even if somebody's talking smack or they're, laughing at you or whatever. Growing up as a kid, I got picked on all the time. So I think I kind of got used to it. And as an adult, I'm like, you know what? It's really not that big of a deal. Somebody's making fun of you. They're talking about you.
Yeah.
Right. So I got the hottest pink tank top that you could find. And I wear that thing. I have like 20 of them in my closet.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
20.
No, literally 20 of them for myself. So I hand them out. I give them out. Right. I give them out to people that want them. And my wife has a couple. And there's a couple people on the team that have them. But most of them are for me.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Damn straight. And so what's the why behind that? Well, I don't want to wear a pink stringer. Okay, how can it apply to someone else? But what was the concept behind why you did that?
So my thought process behind that whole idea was, how can I get as many people to pay attention to me every single day as I possibly can?
Why would you want people to pay attention to you?
Right? So if you're building a business or you have a successful business, you have to continue to bring more business.
Yeah.
Right. So the more, it's great to get a closing and have a client refer you to someone, but where do you get the new business? Right. So you have to be clever because no one wants you to call them. Nobody wants you to send them emails. Nobody wants you to invite them to someplace. So this strikes a conversation. They see this dude wearing a pink tank top and they want to know, first off, why pink tank top? right? Then they want to know what the logo means. And it has a call to action on the back of it. So it's like the trifecta.
And then they're like, so how many houses can I buy with you? Can you sell and buy?
You know, I actually sold one house that was about $1 million from that shirt. That's what started the conversation. It took about 1.5 years, but it finally happened.
The shirt paid off.
You know, what's funny is there was a golfer unrelated to what I do, but he saw my pink tank top. And was like, he never met him in my life. He goes, where did you get that? And I told him, you know, JD. He was like, tell that guy I need some. And I think JD told me the last time we talked about it that he was like the largest shirt order he's ever had.
Oh my God.
The guy went and bought like 1,000
ballistic.
Something.
He's like,
he went
dude,
crazy.
I can put something crazy on it.
Yeah. And he thought it was the most brilliant marketing piece. And he went and made them himself. His are blue, I think. But they're neon blue, like neon blue.
I mean, it's just that's eye-catching, eye-grabbing.
And you have to have that now, dude, because everybody's struggling. Business has changed. Things are tighter. You know, people are losing their jobs. Businesses are losing revenue. So you have to be clever, man. You cannot sit and just wait for people to call you because that doesn't exist anymore.
Let's hop into it.
Let's go.
Because this is the weirdest market that the term unprecedented is no longer allowed to be used.
Right.
It's been used too many times. Over COVID, 3 years is just too many times. So there's an unparalleled.
Oh, nice one.
There's an unparalleled amount. I'm going to coin this myself. The amount of people that have questions and are scared of what is unknown. No one, of course, knows what the future is going to have in store for us. We have to disclose that. There's no magic crystal ball. We don't know what the market's going to do. There's no insider trading that we're aware of.
Yeah, exactly. That's shared with us, at least.
That's shared at our pay grade, but you know, the bigger house, different. But let's talk about it. This market's weird. What is weird in your side of the world? Because you're the real estate agent. You're the guy that got me into the industry 5 years ago. And I ultimately went with the lending route. But a lot of clients right now are terrified. What are you running into? What obstacles are you seeing currently?
Well, the clear obstacle is the interest rate, right? Mm-hmm. We all know that that's primary problem right now. If the rates went to 5%, everybody would be happy. And we'd be back to business.
They'd only be happy as long as we saw the 8s.
Yeah,
and now they're at the 5s. Now they're happy.
I remember specifically saying myself at one point, I was like, 5% seems a bit high. I'm going to hold off.
Yeah.
Right. And now it's 8 or 9% for investors. But I think outside of interest rate, I think the biggest obstacle is people have got to figure out their finances in general. Okay. So we're in a subscription-based life now. Model. Everything is subscription-based. This is the key. This is how these companies like Netflix and, you know, even Uber and Lyft and the Eats, your cell phone.
The lifetime
cable,
consumer profit.
You're paying for these services or goods every single month. Half the time you either don't use it for that month or you totally forget you even have it, right? They've even have an app now that can look and find the apps that you're paying for or the services.
And tell you, here's
the app that shows you the app, right? It's kind of asinine, but...
that shows you where the hole in your pocketbook is.
It's like you don't know where it is yourself. That's a problem. So I think that is probably the number one problem outside of interest rates that are getting in the way. People have had it too good for too long. Things have been cheap, right? And wages have kept in line for the most part. Now there's a huge discrepancy. Wages are not fulfilling the difference between housing and what you make at your job or your career.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to make those cuts, and it starts with the wasteful things. I teach a self-audit class. I'm not sure if you guys were in it the last time, but I try to do it about once or twice a year where you self-audit. You look at everything. You pull out your bank account. You look at your statement, and you see all the charges, right? And then you have to go in there and you have to figure out what you can get rid of. And not that you have to live, this...
You don't have to put yourself
frugal,
on ramen.
Yeah, so to the point where, you'll bend over to pick a penny up every time you see it.
Good luck.
The point of it is to get balanced and realize that you're spending money you don't realize you're spending.
Yeah.
Right? You want to know what the biggest wasteful spending thing I had? Well, I have a lot of them, but the one that really struck me was bowling. I bowled once a week.
What?
Yep, bowled once a week. It's $35 just to pay for the pass, right? Every single week.
Yeah.
Then, you buy a round of drinks. Each person gets one round. It's $35 there. And then by the time you eat and all the other things, you're $100 a night. That's $400 a month. And my bowling season's 38 weeks. Right? So
yeah,
that's almost $4,000 that I spend on bowling. And that's if I don't buy any new shoes, bowling balls, equipment, bags.
Anything.
That's not counting the fuel, right?
Yeah.
All that. So it's a significant, and I didn't even realize that until I did the self-audit.
What was another win that you had from the self-audit? Because I feel like, damn, okay, Starbucks for sure.
Right.
Okay, we need to get rid of the coffee. Okay, I had 2 gym memberships. I canceled the second. Okay,
see, that's a good one. Yeah, if you got a duplicate, right, then why do you need both? Make a decision and figure out which one's the better fit. And then if it doesn't work, just swap it back. Another one, shoot, there's a lot of them. Probably.
I was just the grocery store. Of course, everyone, like, that's where the biggest, my groceries have not gone down.
That hurt. That one hurts.
Inflation's gone down a third, 2/3. My food bill has not gone down at all.
Not seeing that.
So anyway, I was looking and I'm like actually consciously choosing, okay, I am paying twice the price for the organic certified range free with massages. The free range chickens.
Right. Yeah.
I'm paying twice the price for that, where I could get the, it's still organic, but it's probably filled with some filler and some water, and that's half the price. But how much water and filler is actually inside of that? And is it worth half the price to ingest crap?
Here's the thing with food and water, I think is non-negotiable. You should be consuming the best food possible. Right. And to be honest with you, that's the first thing that people change is their grocery bill.
Right.
So they'll go to McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's.
Well, it's cheaper on the value.
To them, try to feed a family of 4. Even now, you go to Taco Bell, it's $60 for 4 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Each one 15 plus taxes.
Dude, it's unbelievable. So I think it even is cheaper now to eat organic than it would be to go to a fast food restaurant, just because of the way the prices have went up. So I think substituting food is a bad idea, because what that does is it starts a chain reaction. Okay, so then you're not healthy, you don't feel good. And
you don't sleep good.
If you don't sleep good, and if you don't sleep good, you don't go to the gym. If you don't go to the gym, then your day sucks, right? You lag. You don't see opportunities. You're not excited about the day. You're just lagging yourself around and that's the truth, man. And it starts with the food and the water that you're taking in.
I'm so glad you bring that up, because that was a crossroad that I was feeling conflicted in, because everyone says, okay, well, cut expenses. Yeah, set myself on a budget. Yes. But you use the term specifically, it's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Because that's the crossroad you find yourself in. Do I take shortcuts in, my temple? My body is my temple. Am I taking shortcuts in my temple that are short-term gain for long-term pleasure?
Right.
Or is this just self-sabotage all the way through? And I get that, because you eat like crap, you immediately feel like crap. 25, 45 minutes later, whatever you have, your body's digesting it, your body is now reacting to it.
Right.
That's why you get clogged, stuffy nose, is because your body is inflamed and you are not supposed to be eating that, whatever it's supposed to be. So what is something that makes that into a non-negotiable compared to the other things that are more forthcoming with, just chop it?
Yeah, I think mostly just your performance is based off of what you take in. If you wanted to simplify it, that's it. If you want to be a high performer, you want to produce, you want to do better at your job, your career, you want the promotion, you want to get your finances in order, you got to start here, right? And I'm not saying I'm perfect. To have a perfect diet, it's almost impossible. The American diet sucks. We all know that.
Yeah.
But there's
Lucky
things,
Charms was
I love
rated
Lucky.
healthier than steak.
Is it really? Don't
And
tell
the
me
food,
that. Come on.
dude, at public school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, on the triangle, they said that cereal is healthier than steak.
I don't even know who makes this stuff up, to be honest. I know it's FDA and stuff like that, but that's nonsense.
Yeah, whoever's paying.
In my opinion, that's nonsense. And the thing is, we don't get a lot of choices, John. Believe it or not, we're in a free country, but really we're not. Like, there's a lot of things you don't get to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we have to put gas in our car. You can't choose to just not put gas in your car, because if you don't live.
Yeah.
Right? You can't choose to turn your electricity off. I mean, you could, but that would be
I'm making the conscious choice.
So that's what I mean by, like, it's almost a forced choice. But the one thing you can do is you can choose what food you're going to eat.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't matter what you make. You could be poor or rich. You do your best with what you have, right? And if you're poor, then grow your own food, right? And, it could be as simple as just growing the vegetables so that you don't have to buy the vegetables, right? Or the fruits. And that's just something that we've gotten away from in society. We love the convenience. And even poor people or rich people, they all love the convenience. It's all about how fast can I get it? I'll pay the premium.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what finance is. Like, if you want to be financially free, you have to understand you can't be going into these, you have to be adaptive. You have to be able to go out and go, no, I'm not going to do that part. And I'm going to do this instead. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it takes commitment, right? My wife is growing, our whole backyard is a farm now, right? She's got all kinds of stuff going on, and it's great. We don't get a lot of it, but it's enough to just get the idea of how to do it. And to grow things in the desert's nearly impossible. So, so every time we grow something, it's kind of a win. But yeah, other than that,
well, why would you correlate your own food, your own health? Because I agree with you, but I want to expand on your mindset behind why is that the first thing for success?
It's just your mind feeds off of what you're putting in, the nutrients. And if you're not getting the nutrients, you don't fire the same. And a lot of times, you don't even realize it, how bad it's affecting you until you get out of it, right? So take an alcoholic, for example, or a drug addict. They think they're fine when they're taking the drugs or drinking the alcohol. They feel great, right? They think they're productive. And then if they stop doing it, there's that moment where things don't work. But then there's that clear moment where they're like, wow, I didn't realize I'm actually way better without this. And that's the same thing with food, right? I'm a sugar addict. I love sugar.
Me too.
If I don't get sugar, headaches, I get nauseous, like legit. It's really bad because I'm addicted to sugar. And when I eat it, I feel great, right? But when I break off, if I can do it, which I've done in the past for a week or two and it's out, I'm like completely focused. My energy is through the roof. It's unreal. And I know this, and I do it, and I still drink my energy drinks, or I'll do this or eat the sugar. And I know it's affecting me, but I choose. That's what I go back to. You always have that choice, right? And it doesn't matter how much money you make. You're making a choice to consume products that maybe you shouldn't.
And do the hard thing. I mean, right. You more than me, but we've been in rooms with successful enough people to know that the hard thing, the thing that is not going to come easy, that most people won't do, that's an uphill battle, that doesn't sound appealing, that doesn't have that big of a gain at the end of it, that marginally sounds good enough to maybe be worth the bragging rights afterwards. That's the real hard stuff. And that's what makes people successful, because in relation to the gym, when I was 18, I woke up, and you've heard this story, I believe, but I wanted to be a police officer, and we just were prepping to graduate. Life was exciting. I'm a senior, and I'm like, oh crap, now life happens.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was at the finish line. Now, What do you mean it all starts? Like, crap, I'm behind. So then I looked and said, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? And I wanted to be a police officer. Originally, I wanted to be a stuntman.
I remember you saying
that
what you would have been a good stuntman.
That's
dude.
My life. Like,
yeah, you would have totally
stupid shit, get paid for it. You might hurt yourself. Yeah. All right, down.
You're like, look, I'm doing this anyways, but if you're going to pay me to do it, I'm in.
I'm super in, And then I watched Jackass and I was like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
maybe not all that
Maybe not
money.
that extreme.
Yeah. So I woke up and I said, okay, well, if I want to be a police officer with my life, what do I got to do? Two things. I had a very curly hair, so I knew I needed a haircut.
That had to go.
I was turning 18, so I was like, dang, I guess I got to be an adult and get a haircut for the first time in like 5-6 years, Get my life together, one haircut at a time. And then the second part was I needed to get in shape. if I wanted to be a police officer, I knew that I needed to run. So I started running. And then that led me into, well, if I can run under an 8-minute mile and I sucked, that means I can get better. And okay, well, same thing, working out and picking up a weight. You pick something out and it's heavy, and then you lift it 10 times, and then you set it down, and then you go back next week and you lift something a little bit more 10 times. And next thing you know, your muscles are starting to tear down, break down. You feel sore. The next time you can do more, you're bigger, and it just builds on top of that. But I'm such a firm believer that not real estate, just success in general. Success comes from doing the hard thing. And more times than not, the starting point is getting your fitness, your health together.
Yep.
And through working out, you do the hard thing. Through meal prep, and you do the hard thing. And the hardest part of all of it is when you hit the checkout line and there's a Snickers for $1.69.
Yeah.
And you haven't had a Snickers in 2 weeks because you've just been eating chicken, rice, and veggies for 2 weeks. That is the hardest part of my life.
Yep.
Like,
Same.
that's the breaking point of like, okay, are you going to do what you said you were going to do this morning when you woke up? Or is suddenly this blindsiding going to be more of a priority that popped up 2 seconds ago?
Yeah, and you don't live alone. We all experience that. And I think what happens with people is they get into that routine and there's never that little extra. They never go that little extra, right? You just said the gym, right? You go, I do a set of 10 and then I go until I can, and then I go the next day and I can lift more. Life and business is the same. If you just go out and you do the same shit every day, you're always just going to be where you're at. Mm-hmm. So you have to be willing to take it another step. And I mean, it needs to be daily, right? You got a challenge. One of the biggest challenges I ever had was convincing myself that I was going to buy 10 homes and be a landlord after I'd already tried this before, 10 years before that, right? And it wasn't great. I didn't make much money.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. That's a long story, but I bought at the top, and then 08 happened, and things went up. But the point of it was, 2 summers ago, I just got in front of somebody who was talking about this at a class that he gave out for free, and something flipped on me, dude, when I was in that seminar. And I immediately went to a vacation. We flew the kids and the wife out to Michigan, and we stayed there, and I bought a house while I was there, sight unseen. Huge mistake, because the house was trashed, right?
Shit.
But here's the thing. But this is the thing I'm getting at is I was putting myself out. I've never done that before. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to take a little extra. I'm going to go that extra rep, right? That extra set. And yeah, it punished me. It was not the greatest choice. I lost, a little bit of money, but what I gained in return was the confidence. And then I did it a second time, right? I bought 3 homes that from August to December, I had 3 of them that I bought and closed, right?
Every month almost.
Pretty much every 2 months. And because you helped me do probably half of them. I had some new builds, but that's what I was getting. So every time I did a little extra, it opened up a new path. And then it was like I could go farther and farther and farther every time. And now I'm at 8. Now I'm literally just waiting to push the button and go, there's the deal. Boom. There it is. I'm in.
Yep.
All right. I'm not even going to think about it anymore. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She's like, I can't believe you're doing all this. What happens if you die? Who's going to make all the payments? I'm like, you won't need to make payments because there's so much equity in it already.
The tenants.
Right. The tenants will pay their mortgage. Like, don't worry about it. So that's the thing I think with your finances and even your job, career, business. You have to be willing to go that extra rep, dude. And you can't stop just because you did 1 today extra. Tomorrow it's 12. The next day it's 13.
It has to be compounding.
You have to keep going.
It has to be compounding.
Yes.
And I'm starting to realize the amount of compounding efforts. Like, what is true compounding? That means the day you put in work today, you put in work tomorrow, you have to put in 3-4 times the work on 3 or 4 days from now.
Yeah, because that's not
more.
equivalent. It's not the same amount of work because you've already done it now. So the only way to beat the previous amount of work is to do more the next day.
And again, and again, and again. So your philosophy of investing versus mine.
Okay.
You've got 8 single family properties, investment cash flowing properties in 2 years.
Yes.
Why single family?
Well, funny thing, during that seminar, there was a guy there that did multifamily and there was a guy that did single family, and they both gave their reasons why, and I related more with the single family. I wanted to be the landlord. Mm-hmm. I don't property manage. I don't hire it out. I do it all myself. I want to get to know these people, right? I want to create a relationship with these people because I'm also a real estate agent. So what happens when they don't want to lease again?
You buy.
They buy. And guess who they're going to use? Every one of my tenants gets a $200 margarita bar when they move in with my markings on it, right? Because I want them to remember, not only did I start this off on the right foot, we shook hands, we met, I know your kids, your dogs' names, right? You met me, you know who you're going to deal with if something breaks. And it starts a relationship because everybody's afraid of tenants.
Right.
They're afraid that they're going to destroy things. And sure, it happens. But if you start the conversation the right way and you just do the right things and you don't be a jackass, you will get a better result. And I'm not saying it's flawless, but it takes a lot of that pain away. And I just feel with multifamily, it's first off, it's a little more expensive to get the actual units.
25% down instead of 15, 20% down. Yeah.
I don't think either one's a bad idea. I think multifamily, you can get the more doors faster. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like, you open yourself up to, I don't know, the liabilities just didn't seem the same to me on single family. I always felt like, if this renter moves out, I can just put the house on the market, but I can't just sell a multifamily because one person moved out.
Right.
I mean, I could, but now I got to try to sell it with the rents in place and the tenants don't want to show. But if I only got to get rid of one person versus 10, that was the main thing for me.
Well, and what I'm hearing from you behind the scenes is also you as 8 doors, because I'm at 4 roofs. Let's talk roofs instead of doors.
Okay.
I have 4 roofs. You've got 8 roofs. Pros and cons there, but you are double maximizing on your depreciation with your taxes.
Yeah.
You're double maximizing that. But also, I might be potentially saving more on my capital X's, my CapEx's, my capital expenditures.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt you are.
Because only one roof on 2 doors means that I have to replace my roof half the amount of times as you do, per se, statistically. But where do you want to keep this train rolling to? So you're at 8. You had mentioned that your goal that you threw down was 10. Yeah. So is that truly the goal, or is there a stretch goal involved?
It's always a stretch goal. It's not like you stop when you get to 10. So at 10, I reallocate, I look at that point, does it make sense to go multifamily, or do I keep continuing on? Do I pay off some that have higher interest rates? People are afraid to buy right now. I'm still buying. To me, it's you helped me close one, right? Mm-hmm. Like a month and a half ago. Like, we're still buying, dude. I don't care what the rate is, as long as the cash flow is there or it even breaks even. Like, I'm okay breaking even because every dollar that I make in profit, I got to pay Uncle Sam 40% of it. So I'm not looking to make a ton of money off my renters. I want the long hold equity capital that's going to be built into that single family unit. And when those rates go back to 5 or 6 and everybody starts flooding the gates, I'm going to have 8 properties that I bought when no one else was buying.
Yep.
And they're going to go right up to the sky. I've already got $1.2 million in equity on the 8 properties. I did the balance sheet. Yeah. So I owe $2.4 million and they're worth 3.6 right now.
That ain't bad. 66% loan to value.
Right.
That's solid. And
that's adjusting for what the market's done. Right. So I've already adjusted the values way down. I've actually been extremely conservative.
Yeah.
Right now, my own capital in there was $600K. So my actual cash in is 600. So really the equity that I made was 600K.
Yeah.
But that's 300K a year.
Well, and
that's 300K a year of equity, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, you put in 600, you get out 1.2.
Yeah, and
who's going to turn that down?
You can't. Well, everyone does because they don't see that.
Because at the time it was 600,000 of you're buying at the high.
Well, yeah, you are right. You're buying when everyone else is trying to buy, or the rates are so high. But that's the story. That's if you're not making an attempt at all, then you're just sitting the sidelines. It's one of the things my coach used to say. He's like, if you sit the sidelines, you don't get to tell anybody how to do anything.
True.
Right? And being a co-captain for my basketball and football team, right? You don't ever sit the sidelines because you don't get to tell anybody anything if you do that.
Right.
Right? Because you're not playing. If you're not playing, you don't get to have an opinion.
You got to lead from the front.
Right.
So outside of the hobby or outside of the work, the hustle, the bustle of real estate and the post office, the enjoyment side of things.
Oh,
You mentioned bowling.
Yeah, I love to bowl. I have not got a 300, a couple of 298s, 299s. I like to lift weights. I've been in the gym since I was 15.
You walk up to someone of your size and you're like, you know what? You're probably into a real gentle game of, cricket.
Yeah.
Or are you into
bowling is actually very skilled.
Mahjong.
It's very difficult to bowl.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think people realize how hard it is to hit that mark every time. And to throw 12 strikes in a row is nearly impossible for a lot of people. It takes years to learn that.
Right.
So I love to bowl. I love to lift weights. Been doing that since I was 15. I also, love hanging out with my kids, my wife. We go on like 3 or 4 trips a year. We try to travel and go to other states. They love to go to Michigan, so we're going to go see the snow.
Back home.
My kids are Arizona babies, so we're going to go back home to Michigan and show them the snow.
Oh my gosh.
And then they're going to probably want to leave right away.
Yeah, within an hour.
Right.
Why is my nose so cold?
Right. And I love to trade stocks too. I do a lot of stock trading on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned some valuable lessons there, good and bad.
Well, and you're seeing the compounding efforts of putting in the effort, the knowledge, putting it in application, and now you're making some coin with your stocks.
And I'm obsessed with Audible too. So that's another hobby of mine that people probably don't know because I hate to read.
Yeah.
I hate reading. I will not pick up a book and read it. I won't do it. But you put on an Audible and I'll wear the headphones for 3-4 hours. I'm on a trip.
All day.
Dude, I love it. And I can read I get a book a week probably. Yeah.
Is that what you're averaging?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 60 of them in my library now, and I just pull them out once. Sometimes I'll reread them, if they're interesting. Mm-hmm. So I try to I don't just listen. I'm trying to apply. So everything that I put in my mind, it needs to be applied. Like no wasted time. There can be no wasted airspace.
Right.
Right. So the books that I'm picking out, I'm not reading Harry Potter. Not that that's bad. Right. Because some people, that's how they relax. But me, I'm reading how to build business, how to get finances in order, how to trade in the stock market, how to sell and buy options, how to invest as a single family tenant. All that stuff I got from books. And it's amazing, dude. The material that's out there for $20, $30 a book.
Incredible, right?
It can completely change your life. And people are missing the boat if they're not taking that opportunity because it's never been easier to read a book.
That's what I don't understand is people live their life point A to point B. And then if they could write a book about it, they condense point A to point B into a week, a day of an Audible, whatever that time frame is. You can absorb someone else's whole life A to B into a week by consuming their highlights,
That's
their
all
reels.
It's the highlight reels.
It's the highlight reels of their life. Here's the cheap book. Here's how you do it. Here's the plays.
That's a good way to put it, the highlight reels.
And then I just get to absorb that. And then I don't have to learn the same lessons. It just makes sense. So to end the podcast, what is one pro tip that you would give someone? Let's talk about who we're talking to. They do not own a home. They are not a first-time home buyer because they don't even think they can buy a house. They are concerned because they are living paycheck to paycheck right now, and they have debts and they're making minimum payments, but they're thankful that they get to pay down a little extra on one per month. What is their most important next step? What do they need to do right now?
So this is an opinion, okay? So not to be confused with fact.
Yes.
Right? So, because I get roasted a lot when I tell people this. So it may be cheaper to rent right now, which if you're on fixed income, renting is probably the thing you should be doing. If you've got a lease locked in at $15,000 to $2,000 a month, you're not buying a house for that.
Right.
You might as well hold on to that as long as you possibly can and pay off the snowball debt. So start with the lowest amount you have, right? Which is usually a credit card, which is significant interest anyways, and get it paid off. And then you have to audit yourself and you have to make sure you're not just replacing that debt with a new debt, right? Because that's what happens. Oh, I paid off a credit card and 3 months later, like, oh, it's Christmas, new credit card, 0% interest. And you know what? You fall right back into the trap.
Right.
So that's number one. Number two is you eventually need to buy a home because nothing is going to give you equity like a home will. It is the single most important investment you could possibly do. If you look in the history of since housing has been applied,
right,
there's been no better return, not even the stock market. Stock market can't touch what the real estate market has done. And if you look at the last 3 years, that tells you right there, some homes have doubled in value. Can you imagine if you would have convinced yourself not to rent 3 years ago you'd be double the money you put in. So if you bought it for 3, you'd be at 6. So you have to get it. You have to get into housing. I don't care how you do it. If it's a condo, a 1-bedroom, you got to figure it out. But right now, fixed income, probably stay in your rental until you get some other small debts paid. And then eventually the next step is getting the house. You have to do it.
Yeah.
Because you can refi later, right? Yeah, 8% sucks. You know what? Get used to paying it. Because then when it goes down, it's just going to be a bonus, and you can use that money to pay off some other stuff.
Love it. Thank you so much, Johnny. John Evenson with the Expert Collaborative at EXP Realty here in Chandler, Arizona, the one, the only.
Yeah, I appreciate this, John. This was great, and I'm looking forward to sharing this with everybody, and hopefully we can get some people on the financial plan to get financially free.
Making an impact.
Yes, sir.
One podcast at a time.
All right.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you for listening to the Finances and Fun podcast. Please like and subscribe to get new episodes as they're released. We love engaging with our audience, so please leave us a comment below with any feedback or questions you have. Write to the show by sending an email to talktoaproadvisor@gmail.com. You can find the video version of the show on YouTube at the Finances and Fun YouTube channel. Check out clips of the show on our Instagram and YouTube. Just search Finances and Fun. This has been a T-Door production.